guys, welcome back to the Jacob and Corey show.
Hey guys, I'm Corey.
Hey guys, I'm Jacob.
This is my son, in case you didn't figure that out.
This is my dad, if you haven't figured it out.
This is episode 2. A little more planned. Obviously, the first episode you saw, I was in my PJs / in my underwear underneath the bed, and Jacob was in bed with me. So this will hopefully be a little more formal than what we saw last time.
Yeah.
Part of the things that Jacob and I discussed for the future of episodes is us planning some questions.
Yeah. And that's exactly what we have today.
Yeah. The planning took place today. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We love you for what you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Jacob wrote up some questions literally probably within the past 2 hours. It wasn't a week long of planning. So some of the questions are serious. Some of the questions are silly. So bear with us. Again, this is my hopes for this is just more quality time for me and my son.
Yep, exactly what Corey said. Every weekend night, like once a week.
We try to do something once a week.
Not gonna be, maybe every now and then we'll do it twice a week, but
Maybe,
yeah.
But again, we have there's 2 other children. We have 3 kids total. Jacob, the oldest. Ella is the middle child. And then Ben, he's the youngest. Jacob is 10, almost 10. He's 9, almost 10. Ella is 8, and Ben is 4, almost 5. We have a dog, Murphy, and my wife, Kara. So we're going to try to do our best, again, just to try to put stuff out weekly. And again, it's just an opportunity for me to spend time with my son and create memories. So let's start with question. Well, how was your week, first of all? How was your week?
Oh, it was good. I got my math test back. I got an A.
Okay.
How was your week?
I mean, I didn't have a math test. So it was interesting. I work for the fire department. I think I told you guys that in the past. Got some interesting news about the fire station that I work at. They're talking about removing staffing from it. So I'll still have a job, but I won't be going to the same firehouse in July, possibly. So I don't know how to feel about it. It was my first. I told you guys I'm a captain. So it's my first station assignment, and first station assignment's closing down. So I don't know how to take that. But
later in the video, we're gonna have a break time to just do like 2 questions. It's not that fast. 2 questions to just have a break, talk about something silly, and yeah.
All right. So my week was, besides that was good. Mother's Day week. We had a big day yesterday. Went to a Ravens camp for Jacob. That was like 3 hours long.
It was long, but I think it got me fast.
They did some flag football, but they also did like practice like plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, plays, and then at the end we had a big old flag football game.
What do you think there were? There were like a couple 100 kids, 200 kids there.
Yes.
It was a lot.
250.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, I thought there would be more, but
it was a lot. Yeah, I mean, it was Mother's Day weekend, so maybe that's why. But we had a lacrosse game in the morning time.
I got cooked.
Yeah, that wasn't the best
13-0.
Yeah, 13-0, but still fun watching. Frustrated to lose like that, but you held your head high, you fought till the end.
But when you're frustrated, luckily I have my friend beside me saying, we're going to the Ravens camp after, don't get your hopes down.
Yeah. Alright, so let's start with some questions. What do we have?
Okay, the first question I have is, what do you like about me?
What do I like about you? I mean, what I love about you is probably a better way to respond. I love the fact that you and I can have like more, how do I say it?
Now that I'm older.
We can have pretty deep conversations. And I love the fact that, because we've done it a handful of times, the one that I recall the most was we were just talking about just life stuff. And I said, did you like that? And you said, I loved it. I wish we could do more of that. So I love the fact that I don't have to just talk to you about your sports. I can really talk to you about like life and what you're thinking and what you're going through. And when we have rough times or rough days, you and I, we can come back and sit down and talk, and we can talk through, and I can admit when I'm wrong, and you can admit when you're wrong. And I admit when I'm wrong a lot. And I just love the fact that, and I really just like the fact that I can talk to you that way. Because sometimes it's hard for me to think of, how can I put this in a kid way versus let me just talk. And sometimes you get it, but I think sometimes you don't get what I'm saying. But I think more often than not, you do understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I really love that. What do you love about me? Or what do you like about me?
There we go. I like that you're always telling me about stuff that happens.
Like what?
Like, if you get home from work, you're like, I had a crazy day. Let me tell you about what happened. You're always storytelling, and I love that about you.
Okay. All right.
And then I just like that you're so into my sports games. You're always there to support my back.
I yell a lot. I get very excited. But yeah, his games are a lot of fun. I played soccer as a kid, like in elementary school, and that was pretty much it. And so really was never really into sports as I got older, probably because I lacked confidence that I could do them. But when Jacob started playing, it ignited something in me. I'm like, now whatever sports play, I think we talked about last week, whatever sports playing I'm into it because he's into it. And if it's we're watching a baseball game, man, I am into it. If he's playing, I go a little crazy. I get very excited. So
It's worth it.
Yeah. What else you got?
My next question is, how often do you read the Bible?
Oh, well, that's a big one. Lately, probably the past 3 months-ish.
Yeah, do you do it at church?
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying, lately, in the past 3 months, it's kind of picked up. For the years past, it's been like a real struggle. He's asking that question, obviously, because I would call myself a Christian, but probably not what you guys, or a vast majority of people would think, just because in the news you see Christians and how that shows to people. So I say that with caution, but I say that with caution because I don't want people to be turned off to that response. So let me answer the question. The past 3 months that's roughly when I've been promoted, and it has kind of provided more opportunity for me to slow down, if you will, and just provided more opportunity to reprioritize some things. You know, my job has taken a lot of priority for me. My kids has taken a lot of priority. Family, my wife, house, just life. You guys, everybody gets that. So back to the question. The past 3 months has been pretty intentional. I'm not going to say every day, but I probably every other day there's been time that I find myself where I'll be on social media or whatever. I'm like, what am I doing? This is really not feeding me or supplying me like it should be, or like I need to be. And so I find myself, I'll open up my Bible app, and I've been really into watching The Chosen. Yeah, The Chosen. And I'll watch an episode, and then I'll go back and find the verses that it's talking about and reading through it. And that for me has really brought the Bible, I would say, almost more to life, because I can visualize the potential of what that scene or that verse looked like. So to answer your question in short, probably once every other day. How about you?
As often as I read the Bible, I don't read it that often. I should start picking it up more often. But I'm glad you got me. I'll go get it real quick. So this is the Bible I have. So this is an action Bible. It's the Bible, but I like pictures and short.
Make sure, because sometimes it gets blurry.
My bad.
Here,
So
hold on. See if hopefully that focuses for you guys. All right. Yeah, Jacob likes pictures, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this one seems really cool.
yeah, all the pictures and also just the short lines. I don't like to read that big lines. Like when I look at it, yeah, I can read it, but it gets in my head.
Yeah, this is
So
almost
when I
like
see
it's
the
like a
short
comic book. So, yeah, it's really cool. I'm a visual person, so that's probably why I also like doing the watching The Chosen and reading some, because for me, the visualization helps me. So he's been into picture books like this for as long as I can remember, and he started to get into comic stuff like that. So I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity. It's just something different. So yeah.
It's Dogman books, but the Bible.
Yeah. So your answer is not as much as you should.
Should.
And I don't know.
But I want to do it more often.
Yeah, should. Yeah, there's no rule. God isn't saying you need to do this. But there's no doubt that He wants you to get to know Him through this.
Yeah.
And so, but that's up to you. The relationship is up to you. And so that's not pressuring you at all. Because believe me, I as we've talked about before, I don't do everything perfectly. Believe me. All right, what else we got on here?
Okay, break time.
Oh, break time. Okay, break time question.
So I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
In the real one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you could rename me, what would it be?
So this is a hard one, and I honestly did not know this question was happening. When Kara and I were pregnant, obviously Kara was pregnant with Jacob. No offense, we always wanted a girl. So we had, before we knew you were a boy, but we had all these girls' names picked out when we were dating and everything else. So that's literally all we had was girl names. So then when we found out that we were having a boy, we were like, it's so silly looking back, like, duh, you could have had a boy just as well as you could have had a girl, but we just didn't have any boy names. So there was a lot of searching and figuring out, and she would name a name, and I'm like, I don't know, I know this person that's that name, and I'm not really don't like that person, or I had a bad interaction with that person, whatever. There's, the adults know what this is all about. You struggle with names because somebody else has it or somebody else ruined it, whatever.
I got my name from Corey's friend's last name.
Yeah. Well,
but taking off the S.
Yeah. If we could have named you anything else.
Why not do the name that you were thinking about before you named me Jacob?
Which one was that?
Emmett.
Yeah, thank you. I could not think of Emmett. Yeah, Emmett, if you're out there watching this, you know who you are. So, yeah, that was Mom really liked that one. And I wasn't opposed to it. I just was like, I already know somebody that's that. And he's a great guy. So, it's not that I didn't want it because he was something negative. I was just like, no, I already know an Emmett. I really like him as Emmett. I don't want to have another Emmett in my life. But yeah, that. Looking back is like, we could have named you Emmett. So,
Okay.
Go with Emmett.
Yeah, and if I could rename you anything, what would I name you? Maybe like Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. Okay. All right. What's the next question? Dave.
Okay, this is the last break time.
Oh, break time. Okay.
So, this is a funny one / inappropriate. It's not that much inappropriate though. If you don't want inappropriate, just comment down below if you don't want it. Would you rather fart during a funeral or fart during a wedding? Your own wedding.
Yeah, which one?
I'd rather fart during a funeral.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to think.
But then, like, it would be sad. Oh, sorry.
Oh, is it a loud one or is it a stinky one?
Both.
Okay, so there was a wedding.
It's a gas leak.
There was a wedding that I was at that I did have some bad gas.
Did you eat beans that
I
night?
don't know what. No, this was a nice meal, and it was pretty bad, and everybody knew it was me, and Mom knew it was me. She yelled my name. She said, Corey. Again, there was no noise. It was just one of those silent but deadly ones.
Oh yeah.
And then
leak.
all the family members were like, "That was you?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." It's pretty embarrassing. So I'm gonna go with I've done the farting in the wedding. I don't know. I've never done it at a funeral, but funerals you're generally sitting still. I don't even know what the right answer. I'll stick with the wedding.
Okay, we're done with break time. We'll do break time next week too. We're gonna start doing break time a lot. Okay, what is your favorite thing about the Bible? Like, what's your favorite verse? What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing.
Like, what's your favorite belief?
So I don't have a favorite verse, and that's just because.
All the verses are perfect.
That's a good answer. That's the answer that everybody wants to say or hear. But no, I don't have a favorite favorite verse just because it's just not the type of person I am. So I like the ones where I feel like it's speaking to me, or there's something like, oh my gosh, I can see how that correlates the truth here in Scripture. There's people say, oh, it's a living word. The Scriptures are alive, and so I like how when I find a verse that can explain something today that doesn't make sense, when I look out in the world and see death and destruction and people fighting and everything else, and I'm like, okay, why is this? And then I come across, scriptures that talk about, we need to value each other over ourselves. And I say, okay, well, what I see out in the world is the opposite of that. And there's Jesus saying, well, yeah, if you would just do this, if people would just do this, that stuff doesn't exist. So I love those types of verses when I come across things that provide answers for today that aren't as plain to the everyday person. If that makes sense. What about you?
I don't
And
have
if you don't have, that's okay. Yeah.
I don't have a favorite one either. One, I haven't read all of them, but also every single one's cool.
Okay.
Okay, this is the last question. Do you believe
What?
in Jesus?
Okay, I saw the rest of the words on there. Yes, I do. Yes, very much so. It's a long conversation when it comes to this, but was nudges throughout my entire youth, definitely my high school years. I remember just some odd events, and then really nothing then after that for a period of time. Maybe I kind of ignored those, and then I met Mom and
You went to church?
Pop, Kara's dad invited me to go to church, and I was like, okay, well, for me it was just more time to spend with Kara, so and I got to impress her dad. And then stuff started clicking and making sense, and I'm asking more questions and just curious about things, and then it was changing my desires for certain things, of desiring to go out and party. I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to be doing this. And not because of the rule, but because there's just something internal saying it was just changing me. And so at some point throughout that process, I believed. For me, it was I believed. Because I think when growing up, I was like, oh yeah, I believe. That's what my parents tell me I do. But as an adult, it was no, I believe because I believe. And we can get into this story later, but long story short, Kara and I were dating, we're engaged, broke up, we're apart for 2 years. I got baptized within those 2 years, actually in Haiti. And that relationship with Jesus was very personal and was very real for me. And I would say, yeah, I probably believed before then, but I publicly proclaimed my faith through baptism in the summer of 2011. Yeah. So, answer your question, yes, I do believe.
Okay.
What about you?
Yes, I do believe, but I bet you sometime I question myself. Is it real? Is it not real? But the reason I believe is because they make so much stuff about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have been a Christian for pretty much my whole life. I've been going to church for 4 years. And I'm not going to give up believing because I shouldn't give up believing if they make all this stuff about Jesus.
Okay. By the way, these were all his questions, guys, so I didn't tell him to do the Jesus stuff. I didn't tell him to do the Christianity stuff. This was literally him out back saying, hey, I'm going to start developing questions, so please don't take this as and him and I haven't talked about this, but I'll chat with him later about like, this is not us trying to jam this down anybody's throat. So like, believe me, this is Jacob's questions. So I hope that doesn't bother people. Not because I'm ashamed of Jesus, but I also know that people are sensitive to faith systems because of whatever has happened, or your exposure to people. And generally, it's people that ruin people's. It's people that ruin Jesus, not Jesus. Jesus doesn't ruin Jesus. People ruin who Jesus is, and so I'm ultra sensitive to that because I just know, I see it. I have friends that just act like fools, and that are Christians, and for me, I'm like, oh, man, you're missing this. So, anyways, I'm glad that he brought these things up, and I got to hear some stuff from him that I didn't know, and I'm going to have to explore more of that stuff with him because I'm even more curious. But hey, great questions, great episode. I hope. For me, it was great. For you guys, I hope it was great. And what do you want to say in closing? What do you got?
Have a good rest of Mother's Day, and I'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys. I'll come up with more questions.
See ya.